Pro-Abortion by Eve Dixon, James Fung, Nathan Simons, Andy Grantham, Colby Kincaid, Bailey Cook, Aaron Johnson.
Our first main argument is about women's rights. One of the main arguments from this is the Judith Jarvis Thompson violinist example, which is one of the most famous papers in modern philosophy. It says, "You wake up in the morning and find yourself back in bed with an unconscious." He has been found to have a fatal kidney ailment, and the Society of Music Lovers has canvassed all the available medical records and found that you alone have the right blood type to help. They have therefore kidnapped you, and last night the violinist's circulatory system was plugged into yours, so that your kidneys can be used to extract poisons from his body as well as your own. The director of the hospital now tells you, look, we're sorry that the Society of Music Lovers did this to you. We would never have permitted it if we had known. But still, they did it, and the violinist is now plugged into you. To unplug you would to be killing him. But never mind, it's only for 9 months. By then you will have recovered from this ailment and can safely be unplugged from you. Is it morally incumbent on you to accede to this situation? No doubt it would be very nice of you if you did, a great kindness, but do you have to accede to it? The right to abort is very personal, and we shouldn't be denying women that. And one of the main arguments is that you can't be free if you don't have control over your body and what you do with it, which is in the 14th Amendment, we guarantee that right for all women. In 1973, a woman took to court saying that she should have the right to abort, and it was unconstitutional otherwise. After that, after abortion was made more legal, women finally had the right to abort with medical procedures, because before then they'd have to do illegal and extreme things to abort that were horrible, and if we make abortion illegal again, then it'll just go back to having that horrible system that didn't work. And making abortion illegal doesn't prevent abortion, but it does kill.
According to Nietzsche, there is only slave morality and master morality. If there's only these two views, one gets to choose what happens to the child. Since the parent would be the master, they can do abortion, they can kill the baby, they can give it up for adoption, they can abandon it if they want. They choose. The baby would be the slave morality, so they would just try to use the parent to better themselves, while the master should choose what happens to the child, since that would benefit them. If having the child would harm the parent or ruin their income or something, the parent has the right to do whatever they want, even if it's aborting the child.
Abortion is better for the baby because it shouldn't come into the world unwanted. Parents need to be prepared and plan and consider how having a child will change their lives. Another reason it's better for the baby is because the unborn child is unable to feel pain. According to Dr. Frederick Amos, personhood only occurs after a fetus can live outside the womb. And we get the right to life before. So basically, a fetus has no rights until after it's born. And then the fourth reason that abortion is better for the baby is because, say there's problems with the fetus, and when they're born, they will have some life-altering disease or something like that that will affect them their entire lives. It'd be better for them not to be born at all than be stuck in a hospital for the rest of their lives, unable to do anything. Okay, the next reason is teenage pregnancy. Abortion is useful for teenagers because it changes their lives drastically. So, say they had a child and they wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that they had done prior to that. So they wouldn't be able to hang out with their friends as much. They wouldn't be able to go out and do as many things as they used to. So that would affect their lives greatly. And another reason is because they wouldn't be able to afford the child, which can lead to a higher crime rate because the child wouldn't be given the proper care and things that, like, say we all received when we were growing up, so they wouldn't know what it's like to have like this great family that gets or gives them what they need all the time, 24/7. And then the third thing is they might not be mature or responsible enough to raise a child. So also affect the crime rate and raise it because they wouldn't have a great role model to help them throughout their lives.
A woman managing her fertility is essential towards being able to manage her life. Any kind of activity that a woman does will always have one thing that could stop them from doing it, and that is pregnancy. No matter how important the thing they're doing is, they will have to take time off to manage their pregnancy. In short, pregnancy wrangles power from the woman until the period of pregnancy is over. In the words of Friedrich Nietzsche, the will to power is precisely the will to life, meaning that, in Nietzsche's eyes, the ability to have power is the meaning of life. In this case, the woman's power to decide what happens in their body and to manage their fertility and whether they keep a pregnancy is essential towards being of their will of life.
The next reason is crime rate is lower because of abortions. Crime rate is lower because of abortions because if a child is unwanted, then it will have a rougher life because it has a want to do all these things that the other children are doing. However, it cannot do that because its parents are not able to provide them those resources to do those things. So it leads to crime, whether from the children. And if the children are wanted, then the parents are prepared for the children, so there will be no crime surrounding them. In 1990, abortion was legalized because of the Wade versus Roe case. Since then, crime has reduced by 50%. Crime dropped due to there being fewer 15 to 25-year-olds. And 75% of crimes are committed by youth. So if there is less youth, then there will be less crime. Abortion has some religious factors with it, being that Orthodox Jewish teaching is that abortion is allowed if it is necessary to protect the life of the pregnant woman. Another reason for abortion in religions is in Hinduism, abortion was legalized due to the need for it in Hindu culture, such as the need for sons as opposed to daughters because of the Hindu religion and all that goes with that. The Wicca believe it is a spiritual decision for the mother to make. So a pregnancy and abortion being a spiritual decision and a spiritual experience between the mother and the child. And lastly, the Unitarian Universalist Church believe that is a choice that respects human life, as opposed to not, because it is the respect for all that life entails as opposed to just life itself.
Having a live birth is drastically more dangerous than having an abortion. Having a live birth is currently at 8.8 out of 100,000 of women will die giving a live birth compared to abortion, which is at 0.6 out of 100,000. Abortion can also be used for population control. China is currently at 1.5 billion for their population, which is overpopulated currently. They could use the abortion method to reinstitute the population to less of their population.
Another reason is special cases. Babies born between first cousins have an 11% chance of birth defects, such as a mild mental disability. On the other hand, babies born between first-degree relatives, such as mothers, sons, fathers, daughters, have a 42% chance of a birth defect, such as autosomal recessive disorders, congenital physical malformations, or severe intellectual deficits. Also, children's pelvises are not fully developed in rape cases. According to Dr. Nikhil Datar, a girl was raped multiple times by her father's colleague, who was arrested, but her pelvis was not fully developed so that she would not be able to carry the baby to full term. Children cannot financially support their baby. A 10-year-old was raped by her uncle multiple times, but she could not afford the baby, neither could her family, and she did not know until she was 20 weeks pregnant. Also, women who are raped deal with the trauma of seeing the rapist daily if they're not allowed to abort. This is because when a woman is raped and she has the baby, all she can see is the face of the rapist.